Part 4. Number 15. A bunch of random shit that makes no sense. Shouldn't Lily have known better than to fire a machine gun right next to a rocket filled with explosive fuel? So the Borg's goal was to assimilate the Enterprise and complete their mission, which was assimilating the entire Earth.
Lower your weapons. They'll ignore us till they consider us a threat.
So why at any point would there ever be a moment where the Borg wouldn't consider a bunch of humans with guns a threat? Or not try to assimilate them in general? My wife ignored me because she never considered me a threat, but then I put her through the windshield of my caddy. So if these people are still at war with other factions, then why the 50,000 watt floodlights lighting up their campsite? You'd think you'd want to keep a low profile at night. What's the point of the Borg trying to contact the Borg in the Delta Quadrant? They ain't gonna get there for like 70 years. Why don't they just send a message back through time and contact an earlier generation of the Borg and tell them to go do all the hard work? So then Worf suddenly has a purple space bazooka. He fires it at a bunch of stuntmen, and one of them jumps after the explosion. He isn't really propelled by the actual explosion, but more so by himself jumping. Oh wait, this is the wrong movie. So Geordi has new eyeballs. Takes a second or two to zoom all the way in on Dr. Cockwood. And then BAM! He looks right at Riker's face. Whoa, wouldn't he have gotten a bit disoriented there? He forgot to zoom his eyes out. So where did that Borg queen come from? Was she on the sphere? Was it just her top half on the sphere and the Borg had to carry her around until they found a female body with titties that could wear a battle suit? Did they construct her from scratch because they needed a Borg queen? Well, maybe she popped in there from another dimension just to see how things were going. If she did that, why didn't she then escape to another dimension instead of getting her flesh melted off? So Dr. Crusher basically had everyone inside the secret escape hatch, but instead of hauling ass out of there, she calls up the EMH to help stall the Borg. However, the time she took explaining to him about how and why he needed to create a diversion ended up being the exact length of time as the diversion itself, thus eliminating the point of the diversion. Please observe.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
20 Borg are about to break through that door.
According
we
to
need time to get
Starfleet
out of
medical
here.
research,
Create a diversion.
Borg implants can cause severe
program.
skin irritation.
I'm a doctor,
not a doorstop. Perhaps you like
Well, do a dance.
analgesic
Tell a
cream.
story. I don't care. Just give us a few seconds.
For a doctor, this bitch ain't too smart. Plus she left a little hatch open. Gee, I wonder where everybody went. So then Worf suddenly has a purple space bazooka. Oh wait, everything that happens in the end makes no sense. First Picard is ready to leave, but suddenly he forgot about Data when he hears him inside his brain.
Captain.
Shouldn't Picard have been aware of the presence of a Borg queen at this point?
You're not leaving, are you?
So Picard doesn't know there's a Borg queen yet. Or he doesn't even know what happened to Data. As far as he knows, at this point Data could be a full-fledged Borg.
Go and find your friend.
Picard has no weapon or anything like that, and he just walks into the engineering section, apparently without any kind of plan. Okay, so then he meets the Borg Queen. And then we get the idea that she has no real plan either. Neither does Data. Data is just standing there. Data has no idea that Picard was just about to walk right into the engine room, even if he did call to him. As far as Data knows, Picard could have been assimilated by the Borg, or Picard could have died. So all three characters are thrust into a scene where none of them have any plan to resolve the situation. So while the self-destruct is counting down, the Queen is hanging out behind a wall, and Data is sleeping standing up. I guess it's a good thing Picard showed up, because the ship would have just blown up then. So to pass the time, they all decide to pointlessly fuck around with each other.
Are you offering yourself to us?
Offering myself.
The Queen reveals that, although she thinks the Borg are a superior life form, she still needs a flawed human, someone to talk to, someone who's an individual who could be her soulmate.
You wanted more than just another Borg drone. You wanted a human being with a mind of his own, who could bridge the gulf between humanity and the Borg. You wanted a counterpart.
For no reason, she tells Picard that she wants him to be Locutus again. She doesn't really believe that, but that's what she tells him for no reason.
We will add your distinctiveness to our own.
Welcome home, Locutus.
Picard agrees to be Locutus again in order to save Data's life.
Let Data go, and I will take my place at your side.
So I suspect that he was fucking with her too. But it turns out he wasn't. He really didn't have a plan, or a trick up his sleeve. But the Borg Queen turns out she's fucking with him, because we soon realize that she's really quite happy with Data as her new mate.
I do not wish to go.
As you can see, I have already found an equal.
Okay. So why did we just go through that whole song and dance about Locutus then? Why didn't you just make him into a drone in the 10 or so opportunities you had already? Maybe she wanted to hurt Picard's feelings. Maybe she was testing Data. Although it's clear at this point she already trusts Data.
He will make an excellent drone.
And she really didn't have a plan for Picard to become her new mate.
Now enter the encryption codes and give me computer control.
So of course Data really doesn't have any intentions of being her Borg mate. He's really just fucking with her too. He's done this a lot of times before. Pretend to be the bad guy, and then he winks.
Praetor Shinson needs the prisoner.
So now Data's fucking with the Borg Queen. All of this is for no reason. I guess he was playing along all this time to gain her trust. But then why is there a force field up? So then for the benefit of the script, Data needlessly draws out his betrayal. You see, the instant he was able to go over and shut off the self-destruct, he could have ran over to that green thing and smashed it open, since he was right by it anyways.
Quantum torpedoes locked.
Destroy them.
But for no reason other than to create tension for the audience, he risks the future of humanity by firing quantum torpedoes at the Phoenix. Now, he intentionally set them to miss, of course, and I don't doubt Data's ability to calculate shit, but what if the Phoenix unexpectedly decreased their speed? Or made a slight course correction? An awful big risk to take for, let's see, no reason? Then the green vampire gas floods the engine room. And the Queen has a moment or two to think. Instead of making a beeline for the doors to get the fuck out of there, she succumbs to pointless emotional revenge and tries to pull Picard down with her. Bitch should have ran outside, locked the doors, and regrouped with some other Borgs. But instead she tries to kill Picard for no reason. So then they clear out all the gas. All the Borgs elsewhere on the ship magically die of lonely hearts, and then Picard, in a true dumb action hero moment, needlessly breaks the Borg Queen's spine when she no longer posed a threat. Probably would have been a good idea to bring the Borg Queen back to the 24th century and have Starfleet scientists study it. Figure out how she could jump from dimension to dimension, Borg weaknesses, how they built a time travel device, what their next plans are. Oh, but it's probably smarter just to break it. You know, Picard should have said lights out before he did it. Or resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile.
Oh wait, Data said that.
Assimilate this.
They used all the good ones. What could Picard have said? Your reign is over, my queen. Yeah, that would have sucked. Email me if you want a pizza roll.